Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel, and today we are going to implement the drop-down using Material UI. So let's search in the Google Material UI. So we are going to import and install the Material UI in our application. So this is the Material UI. Here we can see the npm install Material UI. So we are going to open our terminal and we will be installing the Material UI. So let's wait until unless it is getting installed in my system. Okay, let's start my server. As you can see, I've already created my React application. So you also need to do the same. And I will be starting my React application using npm start. So my React application has already started in 3000. Here you can see this. So let me print something so that you can see some text over this browser. So here you can see under the SRC, I have one component folder. I have already created two folders under this, so we are not going to use that. We are going to make one separate folder under this component folder only using Dropdown. Now let's make one file under this Dropdown folder as Material UI Dropdown.js. I'm going to create one function here, Material UI Dropdown, and I will print the same here. Now I will import this component under the app.jsx. So now this h1 tag would be displayed in our browser. Let's see. Yes, it is getting displayed, so it is working fine. Material UI package has been installed. Now I will be creating the dropdown. So for that one, firstly, I'm going to import the form control. I've imported the form control. Form control is just similar as the form tag that we have in HTML. Now I will import select tag. So it has also been imported. Now let's see in the browser. So this is a select tag, basically the drop down using Material UI. Now I will give some width to this drop down. So we have one SX attribute in form control in which we can give the width here. So I will give the width as 20%. So yes, this seems to be appropriate now. Now you can see we cannot see any options here under the select tag. So for that, I'm going to store all the options in one variable, that is the options. So here I will make this as capital letter. It is going to be the array of objects. Here I will store ID as 1, value as option 1, and label would be option 1, like this. So I will store some more values here. Now rename it as 2, 3, 4, 5. As you can see, I've stored 5 options here. And now I need to map these options. So for that, I'm going to store it as menu item that we get from Material UI only. Under this menu item, we are going to store all these options. So first of all, let's map these options first. I've given here as options, and under this one I'm going to make use of it, this menu item. Under this menu item, I'm going to store all my text of this options under the list item icon. So sorry, list item text. So under this list item text, we have one primary attribute in which we can store the label's name. So our label name is options dot label. So let's see in the browser. We can see all the options here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I want that there should be one checkbox as well along with these options. So for that, I'm going to give here list item icon. Under this list item icon, we are going to import the checkbox from material UI only. So here you can see the checkbox as well. So it is how it is going to look, and we can select as many options that we can. But to select as many options that we want to, we need to pass an attribute multiple here as well, so that we are going to see it later. For now, I want that should be one select all option as well, so that we can select all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 options in one go. So for that, I'm going to do is I will be creating one menu item icon. In menu item, I'm going to create these checkbox as it is. And under this list item text, I'm going to store the select all. Value. We need to give the value as well here under the menu item. So value here will be options dot value. We are doing mapping here, so we will be providing one key as well. That would be options dot id. So here in this case, value will be all under the string. So let's see this much in the browser. Right now it is not working, so we need to provide one logic because it is not provided by the material UI by itself. So we will be doing it by ourselves. So let's see how we'll be doing and managing the select all options as well in the material UI. Now let's create the logic, but before that, I'm going to provide some attributes under the select that we have from material UI. Like we have value attribute. So for value attribute, we need to create one const that is use state. So we will be selecting the value here, and I'll create one set function, set select value. Use state initial value will be always an array. So we will provide the select value here in this value. There's some more attributes as well. So we are going to perform the multiple, like we are going to select the multiple options. So for that, I've already provided one multiple attribute here. I will be providing one ID as well. Let's name it as multi-select. You can provide class name as well, and you can provide your styling. Okay, as you can see here, there's so many warnings that encounter two children with the same key. So here we make one mistake that we need to create unique ID for each of them. So now this warnings would be disappear. So yes. We will create now one onChange function. So I will write onChange here, and I will give the onChange function name as handle value. And I will make one pat arrow function for this handle value function. There is one more attribute in Material UI for the select tag, that is the render value. Render value is the one which is going to be displayed in the drop down when we will be selecting, when we will select any option. So this option value would be displaying here in this drop down. So for that we need to write this render value. It will always take the selected value. So we will pass one parameter selected, and as this drop down is a multiple drop down, so we will be selecting multiple values. So we will join all the multiple values using join. Now we will be providing some condition under this checkbox. So under which condition this checkbox would be selecting the values. So firstly we will write the condition for this all checkbox. So we will create one variable, that is const is all selected, and we will create conditions as options dot length is greater than 0 and select value dot length is equal to options dot length. We will also make one console here. So we will be meanwhile seeing the values. Are we getting the values or not whenever we are selecting any options? So this is all selected condition. We are going to pass in the checkbox inside the checked attribute. So the checkbox will select or check the condition under this condition only. So this is for the select all. Now we will be making condition for this other options as well. So we will give checked here and we'll make condition as select all dot includes option dot value. We will also give a name here as select checkbox. It might need in the future. So now let's make condition for this handle value. So we are going to make one value variable. So here we will pass the event, and in this value we are going to store the e.target.value. And under the select value, we are going to pass this value, that is the e.target.value. Now select any options. So you can see I'm not able to select any option. Moreover, if I will click between the drop down, you can see one pop-up is coming, but these options are not under this pop-up. It is because in our normal HTML only, whenever we write the select tag, so we always write the options under the select. But here, we didn't write under the select tag. So it is coming by default only. Now I've shifted all the options code inside this select tag. So here you can see now the options are only coming when we are clicking on this drop down. So now you can see in the console by default the select value is blank. I will click any option. We got the option 1, we got the option 2, and now if I will deselect any option, so again we are getting only the option 1. So it is It is perfectly fine. Now, if I will click over this all options, so it is not working, it is coming as all only. It is because we need to write the logic under this handle value for the all option. So, if value dot includes all option, in that case, we will select the set select value as select value dot length is equal to options dot length. Now, whenever we are checking the length, we should make one condition at select value. If the select value is present, then only it will check the length. Similarly, if the options are present, then only it will check the length. Means if the options value are coming by default blank only, then we need not to check the length, right? And here I'll make as in that condition it is going to be empty. Otherwise, we are going to get the options value. So for that, we can do one thing. Here we can map the options value. So we will map the options value here as options.map item. It will return us the item dot value, and we will write this options value here. Providing the brackets while making condition is very important. As you can see, we are making use of and condition here and here. So we need to wrap one and condition under one bracket and another and condition under another bracket. And we are going to return this value. Let's see in the browser. We are able to get all the options value. If we will deselect it, the array is getting empty. Now, if I'll deselect any particular option, then it is working fine as well. But you can see one thing that we are not able to select the options label here, like option 1, option 2 should be shown here, right? It is not working fine right now. Usually it happens due to render value, but if I will remove this render value, then you will see this checkbox here as well. So we don't want this checkbox, actually, we only want the options label. So for that, we need to make some condition here. If we want to provide a checkbox as well, if we are not providing the checkbox, you can simply make these options, and when you will deselect or select it, you will get the values here. So right now I'm going to make one new state to store the values for label. The variable name will be select label and function will be set select label. Initial value will be blank only. I'm going to make one more const here and I'm going to store options label value here. It will return us the item.label. I'm going to put the same condition for whenever we are selecting all options. I will replace set select value at set select label and options value as options label. Here we are making use of set select value, but we need to choose the label value. So for that, we need to write one condition here, set select label. We will be mapping the value. So value dot map option value. I'll store one option variable in which I'm going to make condition as options dot find item if item dot value is equal to this option value, and if this option is present, then it will return us the option dot label, otherwise it will be blank. So from here we will get the values for label, but to display the values we need to make one use effect. So we are providing one ID multi-select here, so we are going to make use of that as well. We will pass one dependency array here, and I'll make one condition as if array is array select label and selected label dot length is greater than 0. So document dot query selector, we will find this multi-select inner HTML will be equal to selected label, and we will join the values using dot join. We will make one more condition if else if array is array selected label then document dot query selector dot inner HTML will be equal to select label, and in else condition for this inner HTML it is going to be blank, and it will only change when the select label value is getting changed. We got some error. Okay, this bracket is not closed here, so now it's fine. Now if I'll select all, we are getting the options 1, option 2 and option 3. If I will deselect any one of them, then it is getting deselected. We can see from option 2 onwards. If you want me to increase the width, I can do that for you. I'll make it 50% so you can see that clearly. If option 1 and all the options are selected, then it is getting displayed, and I will click any other, then it is getting deselected. Similarly, you can see it here. It is working perfectly fine. If you like my videos, please like, comment, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.